حي على الفلاح
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
This azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 1962.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio. In the heart of Peterborough, this is Salaam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. It's 5 p.m. This is Amir Suleman's Friday Drive here on Salaam Radio 106.2 FM, helping hopefully, inshallah, to set you up for the weekend ahead. Now, salam also to you in Luton, listening via Inspire FM on 105.1. You're always welcome. And I hope you're doing very well, and I hope the weather has been great where you are. It's not been so good here in Peterborough. We had a bit of a downpour in the last 30 minutes, but I hope that doesn't seep quite literally into the weekend. Salaam Radio, don't forget, is not only on 106.2 FM. You can also listen online at salamradio.co.uk via the TuneIn app on iPhone or Android, and our live shows, including this very show, are also broadcast live on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. Got another packed show coming up for you as well. Joel Lamy, of course, as usual, from the Peterborough Telegraph, discussing the week's news, dominated, of course, by the collapse of Thomas Cook, a very sad story. After the halfway mark, we'll be talking to Sr Tahira Rashid, a community cardiac specialist nurse, about an event tomorrow teaching life-saving CPR skills, and we'll also be talking to Br Usama Zafar about a new youth circle starting at Masjid Khadijah tonight after Maghrib.
With you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio.
This is, of course, Salaam Radio, your community radio station. You must remember that it's your station, because that means you can get involved with the shows however you want. So if you want to come on air with your opinion, give salam, or a shout out to anyone, you can, of course, get in touch with us.
To get involved, call 01733 602 133. This is Salaam Radio.
But of course, before we get into the meat of the show, I'm going to kick off this show with a track from Irfan Makki. This is Everywhere You Turn. I love this.
Allah, 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 Allah. Everywhere I turn, I feel Allah is there. I feel Him in my heart. I feel Him in the air. When I see something pure, I know God is around. My vision is in focus and my feet firm on the ground. Everywhere you turn, believe Allah is there. You'll feel Him in your heart, you'll feel Him in the air. You'll try and do what's right instead of doing wrong. You'll feel Him by your side when you cannot carry on. So why do people stray and choose to walk away when they know all too well they're caught in Satan's spell? He's joyful when he feels that he has really won. He can't defeat my Allah, he can't be number one. Everywhere you turn, believe Allah is there. You'll feel Him in your heart, you'll feel Him in the air. You'll try and do what's right instead of doing wrong. You'll feel Him by your side when you cannot carry on. When life is so confusing, you don't know where to turn. You turn your face to Qibla with your prayer to confirm. Everywhere you turn, believe Allah is there. You'll feel Him in your heart, you'll feel Him in the air. You'll try and do what's right instead of doing wrong. You'll feel Him by your side when you cannot carry on.
Everywhere You Turn by Irfan Maki. One of my favourites, and I've not heard it seriously for a very long time.
With you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio.
Of course, this is Salaam Radio, your community radio station on 106.2 FM and online, and of course streaming live on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. Welcome if you've just joined us. This is Friday Drive with me, Amir Suleman, up until 6 p.m. With a packed show, not least because it's that time where we need to speak to Joel Lamy at the Peterborough Telegraph to discuss the week's news, and of course dominated by the sad collapse of Thomas Cook. Good afternoon, Joel. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. Thanks, as always, for joining us every 2 weeks here on Friday Drive on Salaam Radio. It's a great way, I think, to kind of review the week's news and understand also what the breaking news stories are. But I suppose the natural place to start, Joel, would be, of course, Monday's news, which was the sad demise of Thomas Cook.
Yeah, it's almost... don't know almost where to start with that. Obviously, it's shocking news, although it wasn't a surprise in many ways because it had been rumoured over the weekend, and you know, we knew the company was in trouble.
Yeah,
I think once the initial shock's gone, it's good to reflect on the response to what's happened, because quite frankly, it's been extraordinary. I mean, you kind of do an article saying, you know, these companies are offering, you know, jobs, and these companies are offering free support and tickets and haircuts and taxi journeys, and then it suddenly escalates. And you know, we've been absolutely inundated with people saying, you know, we're offering this, we're doing this, and it's just been remarkable. The whole week really has been, and just sort of how it's gone from complete and utter despair to the fact that there may, you know, be some hope going forward.
Yeah, it is actually quite remarkable, and I wonder if it's somewhat unprecedented, this reaction from the city, as it were, to this terrible, terrible news. And it's not obviously just the 1,000 odd people that have actually lost their jobs at Thomas Cook, but it's going to have a knock-on effect to many other people who would supply Thomas Cook with services, right? This could be going into the few thousands, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the leader of the city council suggested it could impact 3,000 jobs overall, just in the Peterborough area itself. So,
Wow.
The ramifications are huge, and I think sometimes with these sort of things, it's not one of those stories where after a day you've covered it, or even after 2 days, it just keeps rolling on, and it will keep rumbling on because it goes even beyond Peterborough as well. I mean, the whole way that travel companies operate, the way the government responds, and I think this is going to have. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll have the sort of senior executives from Thomas Cook in front of a parliamentary committee, in the not too distant future. So this will really escalate, I think, going forward. But even just in Peterborough, I mean, I don't remember seeing anything like this in terms of how a city has really responded, and it's been great to see. I think rightly, everyone deserves a lot of credit because sometimes Peterborough gets a bad reputation for whatever reason, but I think in this sense it really has shone.
I think so. I think it's a terribly negative news story for those that have been directly impacted and for those that haven't. But the heartwarming messages and actual support, as you've pointed out, Joel, is actually, it could be turning this into a positive news story, right? I mean, this is something which you've just said is probably unprecedented. But I mean, as you mentioned, taxi firms, and I want to give a shout out to one particular firm, Peterborough Cars, who are, I think, among maybe other taxi firms, I'm not too sure, are offering free taxis to any new interviews if you have lost your job as a result of the collapse of Thomas Cook. So that's just one example of like you said, haircuts and many other things where the city is really rallying around. And I just think it's a very, very heartwarming and an amazing story for Peterborough. It's turning into the positive side of Peterborough, isn't it?
I think so, absolutely. I really do. And I mean, let's not forget, these are people who suddenly have mortgages to pay and are going to be fretting like mad. But the business community has said Peterborough's economy is very strong, and the number of jobs which are being advertised does make you hope that a large proportion of people will find new work very quickly. And that is the hope. I mean, the number of people affected is huge, and it's going to take a long time for it to hopefully find somewhere else. But I mean, the response has been good, and I think it shows Peterborough's economy in a good light as well. The fact that there are vacancies out there, and there is a market for these workers. It's not just a case of you're going to have to go do completely different work, sort of jobs you do when you're a student. It's
sure
similar types of work as well. It's a lot of it is sort of office work and that sort of stuff, customer support, sort of stuff a lot of them people were doing before. And it's good to see there is similar types of jobs out there as well. It isn't just what you'd call low-skilled jobs. There is decent jobs out there. Yeah,
it just goes to show that the economy in Peterborough is very buoyant, as is the job market. Having said that, I know there are specifically organised job fairs that are going to be happening, specifically, obviously, for those that have lost their job at Thomas Cook. But I think one of them is taking place next week. Was it the first I read somewhere, possibly?
The Wednesday, yes.
Yeah.
At the town hall. I think it's 9:30 onwards. And so if you are from Thomas Cook and you are going, make sure you take your CVs with, so you get a chance to hand them in, and people can have a look.
So this is it's the 2nd, Wednesday the 2nd, and this is, you said 9:30 at the town hall, yeah?
I believe it's 9:30. I'm very sure.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly at the town hall, and certainly on the Wednesday.
Yeah, so that's I mean, if you are listening and you have sadly lost your job, I would certainly make it worthwhile visiting that particular job fair. Are there any other sort of interesting stories that have come off the back of this sad collapse of Thomas Cook? Has anything else caught your attention, Joel?
I mean, a lot has. I mean, we had a very nice story on this morning about some of the people who were working at the Serpentine Green who donned the uniforms for the last time. Had some champagne now and were sort of reminiscing about their time working together. And I thought that was quite nice. I mean, people will react in different ways, and if this had happened to me, I think I would be down in the dumps for a long time. And it was nice to see that they were able to, obviously not laugh, but they were able to reminisce in a good way, as well as obviously it must have been very, very upset. So that was quite nice. And I think for me as a journalist, I'm very interested to see what comes next. I think that's always what's interesting. What do these? Because there's going to be a number of investigations going on, potential for bonuses to be clawed back. There's going to be public grillings. I'm very interested to see what comes out, because I think what always is the case with these things is there's a lot of anger, and I think there's already suggestions of were they being paid too much? Did they use certain probably legal accounting techniques to maybe make the losses not look as bad as they were? And seeing what comes out of it will be fascinating, I think, going forward.
Yeah, and all eyes will be on the Peterborough Telegraph for the latest news on that, as you always do so well in informing us citizens of Peterborough about the latest news stories. So we'll certainly be looking out for that. Aside from Thomas Cook, have there been any other interesting news stories that you feel we should discuss? Well,
there always is. Fortunately, Peterborough is a very newsy area. I mean, one I'd like to flag, which came out online this morning from my colleague Paul Grinnell, about the Queensgate bus station, which is going to have to move temporarily temporarily across to near the brewery tap for 18 months. That's going to be ongoing, just to allow works to the new cinema which is being done.
Yeah,
and I think that's obviously that's going to be a pain for a lot of people, but I think it's quite exciting as well. I mean, it's hopefully in just over 2 years' time. I mean, later than planned, but the big redevelopment of Queensgate will be complete, and I think that's quite exciting as well.
It is.
I think that's a big thing. I think city centre is going to change a lot. It has changed a lot, but I think it's going to change a lot more. The university's coming in. It won't be too far away, the main campus. There's going to be a big demand for improvements to nightlife. And I think having the cinema in there, having new restaurants, I think it's all leading up to seeing that nighttime economy really getting a boost. And I think in a couple of years' time we'll really notice a difference. I think we've already seen a difference. I think we've seen bars come in, seen new restaurants, but I think that's really going to accelerate now. And I think if you're living in Peterborough and you do feel like in the evenings it's a little bit dull, I think that is going to change.
Yeah, and it's not a moment too soon, is it? Particularly the cinema. I mean, Peter has been crying out for a city centre cinema for years. I mean, the cinema in Fengate is obviously a great cinema, but having one in the city centre and part of a shopping complex, which is kind of the norm for any city now, it seems that Peterborough is really playing catch up, isn't it, in terms of having that provided for the people that live here. But are you saying that the estimated time is about 2 years, is it, for us to see a cinema within the city centre?
It looks like Christmas 2021, which, when you think about it, feels a long way away, but in the grand scheme of things almost isn't. It's one of those weird ones, isn't it? Peterborough is, in 10 years' time, you almost go, well, that wasn't that long away. But when you're waiting for it now, you go, oh no, it's like...
It'll be here before we know it. It really will. But what about the impact then when obviously the bus station moving to the brewery tap? I'm assuming the large car park near there. It will be an outdoor bus station in effect. That's what I'm assuming. What sort of impact do you think that's going to have on travel and bus passengers, etc.?
I think for your average bus passenger, I don't think it will have much effect. I think the concern always is, and it's highlighted in the article, that the effects on people who find walking a lot more difficult. I think that is it's always the worry. Now, I know that they've said the Queensgate, said they are going to great lengths to make it easier for people. So new pedestrian crossing, drop curbs, all being put in, lighting, CCTV, so weatherproof shelters. They just look like they are really making a big effort with this. But with all these things, until it's almost ongoing, it's easy for things to be said, but sometimes it's quite hard to picture it, or really until you actually start seeing it and using it, you won't really know. But they do sound like they really are taking that into consideration quite a lot, and hopefully the impact will be as minimal as possible.
Well, let's hope so, yeah. But it is for the greater good, as it were. Joel, we've got time just for one more topic, if you have one, that is. Is there anything else that we could speak about from this week?
Yeah, of course. I think one which will go under the radar a little bit. This morning, the body which funds all our health services, so the organisation which funds our hospitals, it decides where the money goes from the NHS in Peterborough and Cambridgeshire, has launched what it calls the big conversation.
Right.
Now, it's easy to sort of ignore, go, it's a big consultation of, but effectively, the healthcare spending here is massively in deficit, and the services are going to get cut. And I think it's worth people taking the time, if there's something they care about, taking part in this and really letting the people in charge know what they really care about, because in a year, 2 years' time, things will get cut, and it's easy to say, oh well, how dare they? But if you didn't almost have your say and say, this is really important to me, please don't cut this, this is why. Yeah. You'll be too late by then, because they'll go, you had your chance. So I hope people do have a look. We put this story on our website this morning. I hope people who do care strongly about certain areas of healthcare, whether it's community or mental health or whatever, really, push that home and let the people know this is really what we care about, and please don't touch this. So. Yeah, and it is an opportunity if we take it like that, because it is your chance to have your say. And often, as you say, unfortunately, it's human nature, where especially the British, we love to moan, but we will often pass up an opportunity to actually have our voice heard. In the same vein, when it comes to voting in elections, we complain when a certain party gets in, and then you find out that so many people didn't vote. So, great advice and a great story there, Joel. Thank you, as always, for joining us. And our eyes and ears, of course, will be on the developments of the Thomas Cook story and others. But, Joel, have a great weekend, and thanks again. You too. Thank you. Take care. That was Joel Lamy. As ever, very informative information regarding especially the Thomas Cook story. But a sad week. But as I said, turning into a rather positive news story.
The sands kissed your feet while the winds brushed your face, and I long to be in the warmth of your embrace. Oh, the tears fell from your eyes as you cried for us, and upon my Lord is all of my trust. 'Cause oh, you are a mercy to mankind, and oh, you bring an ease to my mind. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. Not a day goes by where I'm not reminded of the trials you faced, prayers recited, the words left your blessed tongue, changing the world. Your love turns the darkest hearts into the brightest souls. 'Cause oh, you are a mercy to mankind, and oh, you bring an ease to my mind. Na 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 na. If I could stare into your eyes for just a moment, I would live a million lives, all worth living. To stare into your eyes for just a moment,
I would live a million lives, all worth living. Hold me, my beloved, say my name and call me. Hold me, my beloved, 'cause I love you. Hold me, my beloved, say my name and call me. Hold me, my beloved, 'cause I love you. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salaam Radio. Salaam Radio, 106.2 FM.
This is, of course, Salaam Radio. This is Amir Suleman with Friday Drive here from 5 till 6. I hope you're well. I hope you're looking forward to the weekend. We've just had Joel Lamy talking us through the week's news, some of which was, let's be honest, very sad with the demise of Thomas Cook. But, you know, onwards and upwards. Peterborough is certainly a very resilient city by all accounts. In my 5 short years here, I've certainly seen and loved how resilient this city is and how everyone rallies round to help one another. It's fantastic. Now, just time to tell you, before the break, BBC Radio Cambridgeshire tomorrow at the Key Theatre are holding auditions for new voices. Could you be the new voice of Cambridgeshire? This is in conjunction with ourselves, Salaam Radio, and ESP Magazine. There are open auditions tomorrow, 3:30 till 6 at the Key Theatre. Yours truly will be there, as will our wonderful new station manager, actually not so new now, I think 4 or 5 weeks in. Sister Michelle will also be there helping with registration. Our very own Imtiaz Ali, the Salaam Sports presenter, will be there as one of the 4 judges. Don't worry, he'll be very nice and friendly. If you fancy it, just turn up. No preparation needed, no pre-registration. Just come along, 3:30 tomorrow at the Key Theatre, and just speak for 60 seconds about anything you wish. Just make sure it's engaging. Just make sure you're confident. Just make sure you project your voice. If you do that, you've got a good shot at being the new voice of BBC Radio Cambridgeshire, which will mean a minimum of 4 shows that you will broadcast in the evening on BBC Radio Cambridgeshire, after being trained, of course, 4 here on Salaam Radio, and contribute to articles in the ESP magazine. What an opportunity. If you fancy it, don't put yourself off. Just go for it. It really will be worthwhile. 3:30 tomorrow at the Key Theatre. You'll get to meet me. So that's an opportunity right there. Stay tuned. We're going to be back with you in 4 minutes, inshallah.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
It doesn't take much to bring some difference. You give some change, which makes a change. Because nothing gets mileage like a charity. Just a little change turns into a chain. And before we know it, the results are massive. So give a little to make a big difference. For donations, call now. UKIM 0207 387 2157.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident Specialists. Start your successful claim today.
Al Murad Tiles. With over 70 stores nationwide, we are now open in Peterborough. Up to 50% discount offers now on. Largest selection of tiles. Full bathroom suites from only £189. Paint, LED lighting, laminate flooring from only £7.99. Over 1,000 designs of wallpaper in stock. We have everything you need. Come and visit us at 193 Fengate, Peterborough, PE1 5BH, or call us on 01733 34 58 47. Almirad Tiles, now open.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Cater Fair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices, or call us on 01733 310 115, or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
Gems and jewels. Wise sayings, interesting events, and moral lessons from Islamic history. Constant strife of the soul.
Ja'far ibn Barqan said that the news of Yunus ibn Ubayd's piety reached him, and he wrote to him, "O my brother, I have learned that you are a righteous man, and I wanted to write to you. Please write to me and tell me what state you are in." So he wrote back to him saying, "I have received your letter, and I will inform you that I presented to my soul that it should love for others what it loves for itself, and that it should hate for others what it hates for itself. And I discovered my soul to be far from that state. Then, on another occasion, I presented to my soul that it should refrain from the mention of others except for the sake of good. I learned that it would be easier for my soul to fast on a hot, difficult day in the middle of the desert than it would be easier for it to refrain from the mention of others in an evil way. O my brother, this is my state. Peace be with you."
Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Friday Drive. This is, of course, Salaam Radio. This is Amir Suleman, and I'm here with you till 6. If you just joined us, you've missed a good half, actually. First half with Joel Lamy, kind of reviewing what happened with Thomas Cook. Very, very sad story. And our thoughts and prayers, of course, are with those that have lost their jobs this week. And we hope that they'll find their feet again in the very, very near future. But there's lots of support from them, and all that support is from the heart here at Salaam Radio as well. Now, my next guest, Sr Tahira Rashid, is a community cardiac specialist nurse for 10 years, and her main role is to facilitate cardiac rehabilitation for patients following their heart surgery or heart attack. Now, part of her role is to also educate patients to reduce the risk of further heart disease through one-to-one education classes. And as a community volunteer, she's organised several health promotion events, and I can testify that she doesn't just do that, she does many other things for the community as well. So she's a local community worker under the banner of BEMA. These were the previous the previous health promotion events were under the banner of BEMA, which is the British Islamic Medical Association. And she joins me now. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum assalam, brother Amir.
How are you? Well?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well.
Good.
And yes, Jazakallah khair for inviting me and giving us the opportunity to promote this very important
It is very important
program.
Absolutely. And thank you for coming in at quite short notice as well. Now, this event is tomorrow.
Yes.
Let's go into the details of the event to begin with. But this is at Fazana Medina tomorrow after Zohar.
That's right.
Now, is this the first of its kind, or have you done this before?
No, actually, this is it's an annual event, and this is our 4th year running.
Okay.
And as you mentioned earlier, we've previously worked with BEMA, which is British Medical Association, as part of a national event in mosques across the UK.
Yeah.
However, this year we've gone independent, just so that we can deliver the program at a time when it's best for our team and when it's convenient for our local community.
Okay.
So yeah, and we've chosen obviously mosque because we feel that it's the best location as it kind of brings together the local community and also increases participation in masjid activities. But it's not just an invite to the Muslim community, it's an invite to people of all other faiths, and it's also an opportunity for them to visit the mosque as well.
So it's kind of twofold, isn't it? So they learn life-saving CPR skills, and at the same time, if they haven't been to a mosque before, and the beautiful, beautiful, mashallah, Fazana Medina Mosque is, I mean, what a mosque to visit. It's
lovely, yes.
So let me ask you this, how successful have these events been before?
Alhamdulillah, I think with the support from Salaam Radio and also with the support and help from the Joint Mosque Council, our health awareness programs, and particularly this CPR program, has been growing over the years, and we're hoping for a big turnout tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah. I'm sure there will. I mean, it's been well publicised, but what can people expect if they're going for the first time, or they haven't done a CPR course or skills workshop for many, many years? What can they expect tomorrow?
Well, let's just go back to the basics. CPR basically stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a life-saving skill. It's an essential tool that everybody should learn. It's a life-saving medical procedure which is given to someone who is in a cardiac arrest.
Right.
And it helps to pump blood around the person's body when their heart has actually stopped working.
Right.
And a cardiac arrest, it's usually caused by an electrical problem in the heart, and this causes the heart to stop beating and pumping the blood and to the brain, and this can cause the person to fall unconscious and stop breathing, and without CPR the person can die within minutes.
Subhanallah.
Yeah. And basically what we're doing is that we are promoting and educating the community to learn the skills of CPR. And tomorrow, inshallah, we have at the mosque, we will be running through the procedure, and also we use the chain of survival, which is collated by British Heart Foundation.
Okay.
And it talks about what, the procedure, what you need to do before CPR, which is always called 999 before starting CPR. Also, your own safety, because, fair enough, you're trying to help the person who's fallen down, who's conscious, but your own safety comes first.
Right.
So all these things and all these sequences will be discussed. And then after that, you will be given an opportunity to practice your skills on equipment that we have dummies, and it'll be like a real life simulation, as if like you're involved in a cardiac arrest, and what would you do in that short time frame.
So this is a really practical hands-on workshop, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's really it's about timing. I mean, you can learn these things on the internet and you can read about it, but unless you're actually practicing and unless you give it a go, you'll never know how it actually feels and how quickly the time actually goes.
It's interesting you mentioned earlier about your own safety first, because that's something that wouldn't naturally come to someone, would it?
Absolutely, and these are the little things that we need to remind our community. I mean, safety, because let's say, for example, if somebody has collapsed and you've got water and electricity, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so it's always looking at your own safety first, and not just going straight for CPR. Get some help first and then start CPR.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at the flyer here, and you're obviously going to look at the recovery position, choking, things like this. But also it's important to note that this is separate seating for brothers and sisters tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like you said, the course also covers symptoms of a heart attack, recovery position and choking, which is very, very common. And these things can happen anywhere. I mean, it could be... Let me just give you some figures, basically. The percentage of cardiac arrest in hospital are only actually 20%.
Wow.
So, which means the rest of the 80% are actually in the community.
Amazing.
And that could be at your own home, that could be outside, on the street, at work. You could be in a park where there's no one else except for you. It would be great that if you had these skills and you could fast action and take, practice your skills in these situations. And it's better that, you know, you don't run around looking for someone who is certified in CPR if you have the skills. And also you are you're most likely to know what happened in that event and what led to resuscitation. So it'll be a lot easier. And also, even if you did get some help, it can take average of 8 minutes for the ambulance to arrive at a scene.
It's a long time, isn't it?
It's a very long time. And every minute without CPR, the chances of survival actually reduces by 10%.
10% every minute?
Every minute. So this is why, unfortunately, only 1 in 10 cardiac arrests survive in the community. And we want to improve that figure through these programs, through educating the public and with the basic life skills, inshallah.
Inshallah. So this is tomorrow. This is Learn Life-Saving CPR Skills. A reminder that the course covers symptoms of heart attack, recovery position, choking.
Yeah.
It's taught by local GPs.
Yeah.
It's a free session open for men and women. This is at Fazana Medina Mosque for those that need the address, 169 to 175 Gladstone Street. In Peterborough, and this is tomorrow after Zohra. Please get yourselves down there. Refreshments will be provided. I mean, this is a golden opportunity, isn't it, sister?
Absolutely. I mean, normally you would have to pay for these courses, and they are quite costly. And also, it's on your doorstep.
Yes.
You know, we're trying to make it convenient for the local community. And alhamdulillah, this year the program has been very kindly coordinated by Dr. Azhar Chowdhury, who is a well-known local GP. We've also been blessed with a very dedicated team of doctors who kindly volunteer their time when really the weekends, you know, is their opportunity to be at home with their family and friends. They are sacrificing their time to deliver these important health messages across the local community. And also, you know, a lot of time and effort has gone into organising this program. So please do make it worthwhile and do come along tomorrow after Zohar. Zohar is about 2 o'clock. So inshallah, the program will start about 2:15.
Okay.
Fazana Medina. And like you said, separate seating arrangement for men and women. And we have male and female doctors. So female will be teaching the female and male will be teaching the male.
Excellent.
And obviously we've got fresh refreshments and light refreshments. And so, and it's a wonderful opportunity to ask questions with regards to CPR.
Yeah. It is a great opportunity. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sister Tahira, and I hope everyone takes the opportunity, grasps it with both hands, and learns literally a life-saving skill. But thank you for joining us today.
Jazakallah, thank you.
I see a child without a smile, without a mother, walking so many miles, all alone in this cruel cold world. No one to call, no one to say I love you. A stranger to family times, not one to cry at night. Strong on the out, but hurting inside. I pray that hope still exists, 'cause every child is just happiness. I know that time will never hurt a child, but I cannot answer why, oh why, oh why you have to start your life all alone in this world. Why, oh why, oh why? I guess we've gotta love and love. No matter what, just don't give up on God. He will provide you with love. If you could only know how much you mean to Him, I promise you will answer your prayers. Know that He'll always be there. It breaks my heart to see what a child goes through. What can I do? Oh, I wish I could fill that void. Make sure that every girl and boy always have arms to which they can turn. Help guide them for the lessons they've surely learned. I wish I could be there for you like family, 'cause it breaks my heart when I see a child in need. I know that God will never hurt just count on him. He will never turn you away. I promise you he'll stay. As long as you need him, yeah.
That's Unity with Live and Learn, one that hasn't been played for a while actually. And Unity are a band, or actually were a band, I think they've disbanded now. They're from South Africa. But if you haven't downloaded their album or listened to it on streaming services, do so. There's some really good tracks in there. This is Salaam Radio 106.2 FM. This is Friday Drive. If you just joined us, you've missed quite a packed show actually. We've had Joel Lamy from the Peterborough Telegraph. You've just missed Sr Tahira Rashid, who was talking about the life-saving skills event tomorrow at Fazana Medina. A little reminder, it's after Zohar Jamaat, which is at 2 at Fazana Medina. Separate seating for brothers and sisters, so please get yourselves down there. You will learn a life-saving skill, inshallah. But joining me now is Br Usama Zafar. He's 27, born and brought up in Peterborough, and has been a committee member at Masjid Khadijah for a few years now, and he's currently a first-year student at Al-Azhar University, and is involved in setting up a new initiative, which we're going to talk about in a moment, to help get the youth off our streets and into the masjid. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Salam.
How you doing? You okay? Good. No, you're welcome. Thanks for coming down. The Friday Circle, the first one, starts today at Masjid Khadijah. Tell me how this came about and how did it all start?
Well, basically, we had a discussion in the masjid a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just a few brothers from the masjid committee were thinking, how can we get the youth off the streets and into the mosques?
Yeah.
Masjid Khadijah or any other mosque. How can we do that? And not only get the youth off the streets into the mosque, but we currently have a lot of youth in the mosques who come to study, like in the madrasa, the maktab after school.
Yeah.
5 to 7, whether it be this in the Masjid Khadijah, we have the weekend madrasa.
Okay.
But at 15, 16, 17, a lot of them disappear.
Right.
There's so many brothers that I went to the masjid with, and I don't really ever see them anymore.
Okay.
So we thought, how can we, the current students in the masjid, how can we keep them in the masjid? And those out on the streets, how can we attract them to the masjid?
Right.
So we thought, let's get together, let's decide something, let's plan something. So a few of us got together, myself. We had Sheikh Mahmoud. Sheikh Mahmoud's like, alhamdulillah, he's working with us in this project. He'll be doing, reminders. He'll be like, we'll have guidance from Sheikh Mahmoud in whatever we do.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So we decided, let's start with something regular where brothers can just meet up in a relaxed environment, free food. That'll surely attract people.
That's attraction straight away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Free food, brothers can just get together. Sheikh Mahmoud will give some sort of reminders.
Yeah.
And then we'll have discussions about contemporary topics, things which are quite relevant. Because another thing we noticed that to a lot of people, especially young people, Islam is not very relevant. Islam is relevant, but the kind of understanding that we push.
Sure.
Unfortunately, in our mosque, we're talking about things which have nothing to do with young people.
So it doesn't resonate with their lives today in this world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have events and we have things talking about issues which don't really matter.
Okay.
People go to universities or they in the workplaces and people ask them questions about Islam, but they're not really able to tell them a true image of Islam because they don't really know much themselves. Or people ask difficult questions which we've never thought of, which we've never heard being addressed in our mosques, which we've never learnt about. So we thought, so that's why we also decided that we'll have Sheikh Mahmoud with us and he'll give like a 10-15 minute reminder every session. And then we'll have like a discussion. So we'll pick random topics, but contemporary topics, not, things that don't really matter to us. So we want the young people to pick the topics. So
examples of what sort of topics you might discuss?
Okay, so today we've got 2 in mind. So next week, for the next session, I was just talking to one of the brothers. An idea is about, the UFC fighter Habib.
Yes,
Habib.
Of course.
So is he a good role model for Muslims? Because there's a lot of talk about him on social media.
Yeah.
And is UFC, what is the Islamic viewpoint on UFC and cage fighting?
Oh, interesting.
Because some people would say, it's brutal. It's so bloody and it, a lot of boxers and UFC fighters end up later in their lives with long-term brain damage.
Yeah.
But then again, people say, look, it's getting young people off the streets into the gyms. They're learning how to defend themselves. It's teaching them discipline. So that was one of our topics. That's for next session.
That's a great topic.
Yeah. So we're hoping people will come and join in and express their views. But today's topic is about just international events and the Muslim rulers, the Muslim community at large. Because we had a famous American scholar, maybe I shouldn't say his name, but there was a large controversy on social media about some comments he made about revolutions in certain countries and how we should obey the ruler at all costs.
Sure.
So young people are asking questions. Is this true? Because he's quoting certain, narrations.
That's right.
They're being disputed whether these narrations are actually attributed to Prophet Sallallahu or not, which is another topic. We have Sheikh Mahmood there to guide us through these kind of things. Anyway, so people are asking what should be, what's an Islamic perspective on what's going on, why our Muslim countries in the situations we find them in, how can we resolve the situation in Kashmir, in Syria, why our government's not speaking up against these, all these wars and what's going on in the Muslim world. So we thought, let's talk about this. What can we do? Can we hold our leaders to account? You'll find two extremes. You'll find one group of people who would say, the Muslim rulers, they all, they're non-Muslims and they'll do takfir of them. You'll find another group of Muslims who will say the Muslim rulers, don't talk about them. It's nothing to do with us. You can't talk about them. It's haram. So what's the right answer? So that's today's discussion.
Yeah, that's for today, right? So it's a very pertinent topic as well. Actually, both of them are. And that in itself is a draw, I think, to get people in. And it's great that you've given, you and Sheikh Mahmood and a few others have given that level of thought into this. Because sometimes what happens is you say, let's just have a circle. And then you have no substance to that circle. But you've given it some really good thought. So this is open to all brothers 18 years and over, isn't it? And this is starting today after Maghrib?
Yeah, today Masjid Khadijah after Maghrib. So Maghrib is at 6:50. So we'll start straight after the Salah.
Okay.
We have like a 15-minute reminder by Sheikh Mahmood, and then we'll have like a 30-minute discussion. And then free food. We just want to make it like a relaxed environment, come and socialize. There's a lot of people out there who they want to practice the religion. They want to get closer to Allah. They want to come to the mosque. But, a lot of people think, the mosque is just full of old people, or there's not much to do. Or people come and they pray. Alhamdulillah, they come, they pray, and then they go, and then they left to out, doing whatever. Like they say, an empty mind is the devil's workshop.
That's right.
So we want to keep them occupied with something. We want people to come to be able to build a brotherhood, to find good friends who are on a similar wavelength.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they want to practice the religion, but their friends are out on the streets doing all sorts.
Right.
And they want to find a group of friends who can, have fun at the same time, talk about relevant issues, but also help each other to learn about Islam and to practice Islam. And we've got, alhamdulillah, a good team of brothers, educated brothers, all, of a young age. Some of them are, quite educated, got degrees and doing quite well for themselves. We've got Sheikh Mahmood for, mashallah, young imam, very well versed Islamically, very knowledgeable.
Mashallah.
So it's a very good opportunity to sit with somebody like him as well and ask questions and to learn more.
And it's actually quite refreshing, brother, that the youth study circle is being run and organised by the youth, because often what happens, of course, is these so-called youth circles are organised by the elders.
Exactly.
And then they're not on the same wavelength, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, so alhamdulillah, well, we have to thank, alhamdulillah, the Masjid Committee, Masjid Khadijah. They told us, look, they literally said to me, look, we're begging you, we need to do something. To have as much money as you want, as much resources as you want, whatever you want to do, nobody's going to turn you away. Nobody's going to say the masjid can't afford this or this issue or that issue. It's in your guys' hands. Do whatever you want. We're going to be completely supportive of you. So alhamdulillah, a few of us got together, 4 or 5 of us, and we said, of course, like you said, we want it to be young people who take this initiative. So we want to do activities, circles, things that attract people. So this is just the beginning, the youth circle. Every other Friday, inshallah. And then we're planning to do, weekly activities, whether it's sports, football. Maybe we could go out, go cutting, paintballing.
Inshallah.
Other sorts of classes where we can develop Islamic knowledge as well. But also at the same time do social activities where we can have fun as well.
Fantastic. First of all, thank you for coming in and giving us your time to let everyone know that this is happening today. And it's going to remind one more time, this is open to all brothers 18 years and above. This is the Friday Circle at Masjid Khadijah, starting today after Maghrib in roughly less than an hour. And this is reminders by Sheikh Mahmood Hassan Kohli. Brother Osama will be there as well. Roundtable discussions on contemporary topics. This is really crucial you take this away. And of course, free food. And this is every other Friday. For more details, you can, of course, contact Masjid Khadijah. But get yourselves down there because it's a rare opportunity and it's one that's been well organised. Brother Osama, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salaam Radio. Salaam Radio, 106.2 FM.
This is, of course, Salaam Radio 106.2 FM. SubhanAllah, we've reached the end of the show almost, but it does give me a few minutes left to do those all-important community announcements. And we've done the one for tomorrow, which, of course, is the new voices at the Key Theatre. Please get yourselves down there. It will not only be fun, but you never know what opportunity you'll get at the end of it. So why sit back and think what could have been when you just have to get yourself down there and seize the opportunity, as it were. Now, a couple quick ones. Healing Minds workshop series from the Lantern Initiative. This is called Grow to Glow, nurturing and empowering your mind, body and soul for optimum well-being, emotional health and fulfilling relationships. Need I say more? I mean, what an opportunity to experience that. This is a breakfast and an interactive workshop on Sunday, the 6th of October from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. at the Bull Hotel, which is, of course, is on Westgate in Peterborough, postcode PE11RB. This is with award-winning counsellor Maira Khan, founder of the Muslim Counsellor and Psychotherapist Network. For info and inquiries, if you need any more, you can email the Lantern Initiative at outlook.com. That's the Lantern Initiative at outlook.com. Tickets are £30. You can book online as well at spottedlocally.uk/grow-to-glow. So all the information will be on there. Get yourself onto that website and have a look. Also, the Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Age UK have an Armina Friendship Club for ladies 60 plus. For just £3, you have a 2-course home-cooked lunch with tea, coffee and biscuits as well every Monday from 11 a.m. until 2, starting the 7th of October. That's Monday the 7th of October here at the Al-Amr Iqbal Centre, which is 157 Cromwell Road. Why not come along, give it a go? Again, this is for ladies 60 plus, religious activities, chit-chat, i.e. gupshup, if you know, you know, aromatherapy, reflexology, flower arranging, gentle chair exercises, that sounds up my street to be honest, day trips, pottery, craft activities and much, much more. For further information, please contact Shagufta Malik 07966 743 425. That's about it from me for this edition of Friday Drive. I've been Amir Suleman here on Salaam Radio. I'm back again in 2 weeks, inshallah. I do hope you can join me again. Have a great weekend ahead. Please stay tuned for Friday Night Live from the team at Inspire FM. Thanks for listening and Assalamu alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.